And we're joined now by the Buffalo Niagara Film Commissioner, Tim Clark, to talk more about the impact this tentative agreement could have, both in terms of the broader strike across the country and us here in Western New York. Before we get to us in Western New York, this is very positive news for the unions who are involved in this labor dispute. One major one has now a TA, but the actors still do not. Even if they actually ratify this deal, do you see any movement?
Well, no, not right away. I think what's going to happen is the actors, still going to be on the picket line, right? So the writers aren't going to cross that picket line. I think it's got to be a, all or nothing thing. So I think the studio heads, the fact that Bob Iger and all the other CEOs actually got into the meetings means that they're very serious about ending this. So I'm hoping for a quick resolution. But I was hoping for that all along, and it just strung out. So who knows?
Break down for us, the ripple effect all of this has had, on productions. A lot of people wondering, when their favorite shows are going to be coming back, and after all of this. No,
Jordan, it's very interesting because it has affected in a way that I really didn't even anticipate it affecting Western New York. I don't think much is going to happen before the first of the year, at least with content creation. There's a lot to do. When you shoot a movie, there's, sometimes a month or more of prep that you have to go into, like a place like Western New York here, and actually prepare to shoot your movie. We're getting into the holidays where they're not going to want to do that, and so my guess is the first quarter it's going to get crazy, and it will be very crazy here.
It no doubt is much quieter in Hollywood, where most of these productions, but also things are picking up here in Western New York. You said people are actually using this time when they're not working to what? Explore, look at new places, and that includes Western New York?
That includes us here, and especially with this new 40% tax incentive that's been passed this past year. It's a brand new incentive that's going to make Buffalo and Niagara Falls and all those important cities, Jamestown, Lockport, all these areas of Western New York, it is actually going to be more lucrative to shoot a film here than it is in Atlanta, Georgia, which is really the production center of everything nowadays. So we're waiting, we're anticipating, and we're prepared for good things ahead, and it is going to come at us at 90 miles an hour. It's funny, I was talking, the governor's staff called me this morning, and she's very concerned about how soon we can get everything back up and running here in Western New York, and I got to tell you, she did a great thing with this new tax credit. The legislature was great. Crystal Peoples and Tim Kennedy and the gang just rooting for Western New York, and we really got something solid here that we can really tout throughout the world, really.
It's great.
And I know you can't give much away, but what's in the works here for the Buffalo Niagara Film Office right now?
Well, just within the past week, we've had a major studio here checking us out for an upcoming production. Some of the stuff that's been put on hold that was supposed to come here has been sort of reactivated. And then next week we have another major scout for another film that would shoot here in the spring. So it is getting very busy. Add a few more berries in there.
I was going to say, yeah, very busy.
Very.
If I may, not too much has been released about the tentative agreement, about what is included in these contracts. But obviously both the writers and the actors, the whole purpose behind this strike was to get them to a point that would protect them and their careers for decades to come. We're thinking about AI and all the changes in movies. Not knowing what is specifically in those contracts, do you think that at least these two sides have accomplished what they want?
I think so, and I think the studio execs realized, that they better get back to work quick because we're, at the brink of disaster, really, as far as content creation goes. But the issues are similar with SAG and with the WGA, the writers and the actors. So I really do think that this thing will be over quicker than other. But I can also tell you that in Western New York we've had some, and this is all thanks to the success of the Buffalo Bills in the past few years, we've had some major commercials come through. So these union workers here have been working here and there, not as much and regular as they should, but we have been getting a lot of good commercials. Visa's been in here. We have another one, major one, shooting tomorrow. These are great national commercials that keep everybody employed. So.
Well, as you said, we're going to have to wait and see how things play out in Hollywood. But for now, Buffalo Niagara Film Commissioner Tim Clark, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks. It's always great to be with you guys.
Dave.
Yep.